Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, what do we got today? Let's see. May PCE price index, UNCH Act for UNCH Act estimated. UNCH. Alrighty. So, after 3 months of gains, the PCE, the price consumer index or earnings or whatever they call that. So let's see what else we got. End of a quarter deadline. Donate. Oh, okay. So you know, just your basics. Nothing major going on, really. I guess you could say. We had a debate last night, if you want to call it that. Oh, May personal income. Okay, that's what it is. May personal income. Up. Personal income was up a little bit, 0.5 versus 4, so that's pretty good. May core price 2.6 versus 2.6. So overall, everything's about the same. When we know how we pay attention to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's kind of like a guessing game, I guess. I don't know. It's TGIF. How about that? Today is Friday, so end of the week. The country seems to be a little disturbed. They've seen the president that I know and have seen for almost 50 years now as senator. He doesn't live more than 30 miles away from me, or 45 kilometers from me, something like that. Joe was being Joe last night like usual, except for when you're president, you can't act that stupid because people really expect you to be smart, and so they call it the basement strategy. They kind of kept them hidden. But anyway, that's the way it goes. What we got here this morning is the markets seem to be a little hungover, like a drunk. They don't know what to do. They seem to be stumbling around. You see the dollar index. We have the dollar index up there at the moment. You can see on the beta, and it's kind of down a little bit, but it's green dot. Things like that. Over on let's take a look at it on the other platform too at the same time. Let's see how it looks over there. Oh, let me just go up and down the whole beta. You can see the beta's been in a weekly buy now for, this is the 4th week. It's starting to curve a little bit down in here. And, you can see here, the daily is trying to pump up a little bit. You can see that. It is trying to push up. It's in a daily buy for at least 3 days. So we're seeing, some slow, consistent action. Let's take a look at it on the other platform. Let's see right there. There's the dollar index. And you see same situation, pretty much unchanged. See it right there, just up a little bit for the day. People are buying dollars because there's nowhere else to go. We bankrupt the planet back in '08, going into '09. And so because of that bankruptcy, it's really hard for many countries to stand up and be a leader, I guess you could say. So we're stuck with the leader position. And I guess you could say we saw our leader last night, so it makes it even worse. No wonder it feels like a hangover this morning, like as if everybody was drinking and they're intoxicated, that type of thing. So there it is right there. There's the dollar index. And I saw something interesting about Japan, about the currency. Let me see if I can find that. I thought that was fascinating. There was this really interesting story this morning. There's a lot of interesting stories. Things are, like I said, people are a little confused. You can see the first headline is CNN chief correspondent says Dems urging White House to ask Biden to step down after shocking debate performance. Futures jump after Biden's disastrous debate. So obviously, there's a third one. My retribution is going to be success, President Trump says. Presidential Trump, they call him, dominates stuttering Biden in debate. But that's not the stories that I'm really heading towards. It was about Japan and their currency. It was, let's see if we can find it. I did save it, so if I can't find it, we'll be able to go after. There it is right there. Japan fires its top currency diplomat. I didn't know you have diplomats for currency. As yen disintegrates, another intervention looms. How about that, huh? we've been talking about it, and that's half the reason why we see a dollar trading around just below the 106 area. There's nowhere to go. As much as all the BRICS they really want to pretend in their heads. Pretending's a real big thing, and I'm not against pretending. Pretending is kind of cool, but that's that's why we put out a spreadsheet every day showing our accuracy for the last 12 years. Here at Dukascopy, and I put that same spreadsheet out for like the last 30 some odd years, showing our accuracy of our mathematics. So pretending, I can understand pretending, but when it comes down to profit and loss, you got to be realistic. And so you can see here, Japan is really having their problems. Let's go take a look at the yen. I mean, I don't see anybody asking any questions, so let's take a look at the yen. And there's the yen right there. You can see, they made another 40-year high or whatever it is. Let's see, since 686. So what's that? That's 86 is 14 and 24 is 38. So it's like another 38-year high. You can see, it's been in a daily buy, here and there. Our math has been accurate, like it always is, 8.6 out of 10 times. So it's just kind of, this is this is pretty cool in the sense that you can see that our stories match up to this story right here. Just throw it up on the screen. There it is right there. Japan fires its top currency diplomat as yen disintegrates. And so, our math has been saying, yes, it's disintegrating. And, the LDP, another fantasy political organization like our Democrat one in the United States, the Liberal Democrat Party in Japan, has been losing people left and right, cabinet members and so forth for fraud and, like the Joe Biden stuff, all that criminal stuff that they do. They're, taking money under the table, and they've lost the head of the Bank of Japan about over a year ago now from it. They lost the top 5 ministers. They had some type of. It was kind of interesting. They were, I guess you call it shaking down or asking for money from sponsors, and then they were distributing it throughout the LDP itself. And so, it's like a cottage industry. Pay to play, we call it here in the United States. It's like the Biden universe. So, I don't know. In the end result is that we're stuck being the world reserve currency because nobody else out there has the ability. And then they talk about BRICS, and they want to pretend that the BRICS actually have an ability to do so. So they'll deviate away from the dollar, and that's fine with me. As far as I'm concerned, we'd be better off not being the world reserve currency, and we'd be a stronger nation for it. But unfortunately, we're stuck in this position at the moment. All right. So that's the yen. We just jumped from the dollar index to the yen. So let's take a look at the euro. The euro, just kind of meandering. Not a lot of. Ooh, listen to that. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And so, there's the euro. It's just meandering. Nothing. Just kind of cruising along. I really have a lot of. Now, I have a lot of confidence. Or I have some confidence compared to the BRICS. I have no confidence in the BRICS. But I do have confidence in the European Union, which is, I know this sounds alien. I know this sounds crazy. But it is the second largest economy in the world, the European Union. And it's not China. China's not the second largest economy in the world. And so, I have more confidence. And one of the perfect examples is I can't even put a Chinese yuan up on the screen. It's that bad of a product. In other words, it's a conversion factor. It's like, you walk into China, you want to be able to spend the local money. You take your yen or your dollar or your euro or whatever, the British pound, and then you convert it into this government certificate that says, it's their currency, and that's cool. That's the same thing. We have a certificate. It's called the dollar. But the difference is that the world can trade the dollar, and it's very hard for anybody to trade the Chinese yuan. It only trades about 2.5% a day. That's because it trades as much as the kroner does in the market, and I don't think anybody thinks that the kroner is like the second or third largest economy in the world. So the Swiss franc trades about almost 4% a day, and I don't think anybody thinks that the Swiss franc and the Switzerland is the second or third largest economy in the world. So that's why we look at the euro and we say the euro has great potential. You have a lot of solid nations, a lot of economic potential, a lot of opportunity. I just don't see that in China. I've never have. At least not for the last 15 years or so. I don't see that potential anymore. There was potential there when they were moving towards a more freer financial system, free markets, free people type of thing. But they've moved back into this communist thing, and they think that communism is the answer. And I have to say, if communism was the answer, we would be looking at the ruble and the Soviet Union right now. And it's very hard to. I think the ruble's like trading at 100 now or something like that, and the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. So I don't understand this love and desire for communism. It confuses me. As a financial person, it doesn't make any sense. Capitalism is it, and the more laws you have, not regulations, but more laws that protect the individual and their equity and their freedom and their right to do business is better. And that's what it comes down to. So, anyhow, that is what it is when it comes to the euro. The euro looks like a great potential there, and you can see it's bottoming. It's not like it's falling apart. Let's tighten that chart up. As you can see there, it's not taking out these lows over here. And you can see when you go back and look at it even further back, it's pretty much in a sideways range. Look at that. I mean, we've kind of tapped out a little bit here. It's been a downwardly slope, but it's still not taking out this low here of October of last year. It's doing fine. It's holding up. And so it's not a fixed currency, which is really neat. Fixed currencies it's bad enough that central banks influence our currencies and our interest rates as it is now. With quantitative easing, they've really, really become the buyers of last resort, which is really bad because it makes the markets not free moving anymore. It turns it into a fiasco. So that's where we're at this point, I guess you could say. And I guess that's the way it really rolls in the end. It really does. So, all right. Any questions out there? Seems like it's kind of quiet again today. It's Friday, and there's not a lot of questions going on. Hold on one second. I'm just going to grab another cup of tea. Give me about 30 seconds. You know what? We'll wait for a little bit longer to the half time point. 30 minutes after, we'll go grab a cup of tea. It's so quiet, maybe someone will come up with an idea of a question. All right. From there, let's go look at like the third or fourth largest economy out there. I think Japan is the third largest economy in the world. And then I think then it becomes a battle between Japan, China, and Britain as the third largest economies in the world. But we do have the Commonwealth, and in many ways, the Commonwealth is, when you look at the Commonwealth, and then you look at the European Union, you have to go like America, the European Union, and then the Commonwealth as the major economies in the world, not individual countries. But when it comes to the rest of it, I think China's right there, up there with Britain and the rest of them. All right, now let's go take a look at the pound there. You can see the pound doing the same thing. Not looking very, pressed down. It looks very solid. It's a free trading currency. You can see right there, it's not taking out that low or any of these. Matter of fact, it actually looks like a reverse head and shoulders. Looks like it wants to find ways to go higher, lower. When you look all the way back, it really seems to try to look like some type of reverse head and shoulders thing going on. And right there, maybe it'll support this area here and go up. And we would love to see the dollar come down. We find it to be overvalued, and it would be nice to see it come down a little bit more. So there it is right there. You can see we've look at all this like choppiness on the daily. We go into a buy. Let's widen that out and see how it worked individually each day. We're in a weekly buy from back here. It went up, then it comes down and so forth. But it's not all the way down to where it started from. And it was in a daily buy from there, so that was a pretty cool ride. Then you go into a sell and then back into a buy. Nice little couple day trade. You get another one there. That one's I think that's a loser there in the end result, or barely break even. And then this one, same situation. This one was probably the worst, trying to take all your profits, not all your profits, but a good third of your profits from this great move there. And then the same thing here. The buys have been very poor. And then at this point, you can't take the buy anymore. You can only take the sell. So your very first sell is kind of sideways to nowhere also. So we really see the cable not being able to get out of its own way at the moment. They're not really reaching for the cable. The cable's just kind of there, but it has that big, broader month-over-month look to it, like it's trying to put in a nice big bottom in here. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like a bottom of some form. So, all right, and then from there, what do we do from there? We go over to the Swiss, who are great inflation fighters. They need to basically come over on a vacation and teach the Federal Reserve what to do about inflation. So there we are right there. Notice it's been going, losing against, when this goes up, that's the Swiss, it's losing against the dollar. When it's going down, it's gaining against the dollar. You can see we've been in a buy and a weekly sell, so it's a neutral. So since this, excuse me, since that buy signal, we've been standing still and saying, okay, you don't want to be, you don't want to be short this thing, and you don't want to be long it. It's a neutral, so you could always spread out of it and make yourself a neutral. And if you're using binaries, you're a limited risk to begin with. So, it's always a good reason why you use binaries combined with the underlying product, or if you're going to use the options naked, single options against it, or you're always going to hedge yourself on some level or another. All right. And so basically, where we stand at this point is that the Swiss, is not. I'd be surprised. It's not even. Imagine this. It's 8.899. It's not even banging through the 90. So even the move when they correct this thing, it's not extreme. It's not like, yeah. Huh. They're playing excerpts of. I guess we got debate overhang. That's all they do. Keep on doing is playing different, different videos of the debate. It's really weird. I didn't watch the debate, so I can't handle listening to Joe Biden to begin with. So yeah, you see the Swiss here are not really, rolling over on any level. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's go to. We saw what the yen looked like. Now let's go over to the Turkish lira, the great experiment, which is nice. It's holding. Oh man, if we could just have this currency go like this now for another year and a half, just like this range, just stay there. And you can see we went into a sell there yesterday. right there. And we're in a weekly buy though, So again, this thing is trapped in this neutral situation again. I guess it's just going to go steady and slowly, and you know, it really is, a situation where just a steady, slow, go nowhere currency for Turkey would be a wonderful thing. Now, from there, we'll go over to South African Rand. There's South African Rand. Whoa, look at that dip, down, dive, huh? How about that? That's a good thing. Should be very bullish for the metals complex. Look at that. I mean, look at the way that thing's getting clocked. Nice. I'm just going to put the red line there. Because, we'll come back to this on Monday and we'll know then. So, look at that. Smack. Nice. That when this thing goes down, when it's going down, it's gaining against the dollar. And when it's going up, it's losing against the dollar. So that's a pretty good move. Let's take a look at the metals complex. You see it's trying to climb. It's over right there. It's trying to get into the buy, get rid of that red dot, and we're in a buy. But the weekly is really still pressured down. Let's go over to here. We'll put gold in there on the beta. You see the beta is doing that same thing. It's starting to really lift up. Look at that. It's pushing up. Totally pushing up. And then you can see here, it's a second in the beta, which is interesting. The beta is a second week in a weekly buy. So it went into the weekly buy last week, so it's going to be 2 weeks in a weekly buy. And here we are on the old platform, where it's having a hard time getting into there. It's really interesting there. I wonder what they're doing to silver. Let's go see what silver looks like. There's silver. Silver's doing the same battle. Now, which silver are we looking at, too? I think I need to look and see. I think we're still looking at July silver, but it must be getting very, very close to switching to the new front month, whereas we're watching August gold. Okay, let's take a look at silver. Yeah, September silver. Okay, so I guess what we should be doing is we should be moving into the September contract. So I think that's what we're going to do right here, right now. See, we're going to get rid of that July thing. And we're going to move into a September. There it is right there. Oop. Let's get that silver in there. There, that's better. And you see there, it's trying to climb into the buy. It's still in that weekly sell, though, for a bunch of weeks. Let's put that line in there. So it's in that weekly sell now for 4 weeks. And the daily sell's right there. And it's trying to climb into the buy today. That's interesting. Go like this. Matter of fact, we'll just put it right there like that. Because then we can always take it out after the fact. Oh, speaking of which, yeah. That's something I just realized I didn't do. Let me do this too at the same time. At the same time. Let's see, right there. There we go. So when it comes to silver, we're now in the September contract. And at the same time, what else can we say about that? I guess that's about it, really. Yeah, that's cool. So let's jump over to, let me see what's going on here. Okay. Let's see. So I'll minimize that and then put the beta back up on the screen. Where are you, beta? There you are, beta. And so there is, let me write it in there what it is too. It's silver. Still no questions. That's kind of curious. It's quiet. I guess everybody, it's Friday. I guess everybody's having a hangover from the Biden adventure. Set silver. There we are. And we'll just go save workspace. Save workspace as. Do that too. Since nobody's asking any questions, I might as well straighten this stuff out while we're doing the webinar. And we're just going to go like that. And that will straighten it all. Oh no, you know what? I just realized some of those things need to be shifted. So that's fine. That buy was right there. That sell needs to be right there. No, right there. And that buy is okay. That's weird. This thing needs lots of cleaning up, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It needs a lot of cleaning up. Okay. That's it. We're going to go like that. Remove that. Remove that. And that is that. Okay. So now we got the September silver doing its thing. And we'll save that like so. Silver. There we go. All right. From there, let's take a look at what's the next thing we look at usually, and that is copper. And there is July copper. Let's double check the July copper. That could be in the same boat, Futures. Copper. Yeah, we're looking at September copper now. We might as well move that. Let's fix that too at the same time. Let's save that. Let's see. Okay, let's put, what was that, September. There we are. I'd forgotten. They used to call CNN the Clinton News Network. And so, that's funny. The Clinton News Network. I forgot all about that. Back in the old days, we used to call it that. Wow. Huh. Let's see. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Remove that. There we go. We're going to go like that. There we are. All right. There we go. That is copper now. And let's put the copper in there. So we're looking at September copper. Oop, not there. Go like that. There we go. And there's September copper. And we go save. We'll go like that. Oh, you know what we can do? Put a little green line in here. Because it sure does look like it's going to go into a buy, that's for sure. Go like that. There we are. There we go. We got copper now straightened out. So I know we moved the platinum out. I think it's October platinum now at this point. So there we go. We got that taken care of. Let's go take a look at what I consider the greatest risk of trading on the short side, and that is what is it? That is platinum. Platinum is one of the greatest risks when you try to play that thing. You can see it right there. This is October Platinum. And let's see, let's put that sell thing in there like that. There we are. We're having fun here today because no one's asking any questions, and it's Friday. We could look at the news a little bit more, you know, kind of that type of thing. Let's save that. There we are. We'll go look at anything anybody would like to look at, and I'll just keep on going through the series of products we follow. Now, this is because we look at the South African Rand. You know, the South African Rand currency itself is usually a half-decent leader to what's going on. So, you know, when we go back over to the South African Rand, you can see this nice big drop today. So we're expecting to see strength in all the metals, and we have. You know, we can see it. You know, we can see it in gold, and we can see it in, you know, silver and so forth. Everything is trying to lift up. All right, so let me see now. From there, we'll go over to the energy sector. Let's put the energies in. There it is right there. There is crude oil in a barrel. And it's been in the daily buy for weeks now. You can see it from all the way back in here. It's been in a daily buy since right there. It's been in a weekly buy since right here. And it's not letting go whatsoever. You know, the energy sector is doing that. You can see it over on, let's put it on the beta, because then we can go look at Brent and so forth. And there on the beta and Brent, you can see that right there. It's you know, it's just been climbing the same way, and the same situation there. On the weekly, it's 4 weeks now on a weekly buy. On ours, it's you know, basically the beta has become our better platform on many things. It's been basically in a weekly buy since back in here, but this is just joined in there. Now from that, we'll take a look at Brent. And there's Brent right there. Brent is, you know, been doing the same thing. It's been climbing and it slipped into a sell for a day, and then we're back into a buy. So basically, it's been in a buy from here, went into a sell one day, and right back in again into a buy again. Now you couldn't take the sell. Why, traders? Because we were in a weekly buy, right there. So there's no reason. 4 weeks in a weekly buy. So, you know, there's no reason in the world to even try to short something like that when you're in a weekly buy. Now, you can get brave if you want and fight the odds and do a binary on the sell side, but, you know, you better be fleeting, because the moment it changes directions again, you know, with that overall weekly trend going on it's going to push it right up again, you know, right up. And that's really what it comes down to. So, oh, hold 1 second. I hear let me just check something. I hear noise. Let me just double check. We're back. I heard something in there. I wanted to find out what made that noise. Something fell off in the kitchen. All right, we're back. So from there, we'll go over to natural gas and see what natural gas looks like. There's the NG. And natural gas, you know, kind of drifting in this slow direction. More sells than, you know, daily sells than buys. But you went into a weekly sell there, back into a buy there, and still in a buy. So we got to wonder what is going on with the natural gas. Notice we're way up above the $2 area at this point. We're bouncing around 275, 260, 270, that type of thing. And so, you know, there's not a lot of weakness going on when it comes to natural gas. going into the winter, but we do look at the Spanish energy company right there. And that has been playing the low end of the range since the European Union's Parliament switched from center left or left to center right or becoming conservative. So the Nigel Farage wing has finally taken control of the European Union, and maybe we're going to see more freer markets and freer economy, and that's what I'm hoping for. And that's what, when I look at the European, the Euro unit, I really believe that we're going to see a better economy and a better marketplace. And unfortunately, we're not getting it yet, but you can see it in this energy company. This was the election right here. Let's go like this. There was the election right there. And, it just went slam, slam, slam in a matter of a day and a half. They went from 25 down to 21, and it's been flirting with the 20. And we're looking for this to fall down into the like 15 or 16 area, or at least 17, something like that. Break that 19 from last year. Especially, I can tell you this: Mr. Trump gets elected, which I believe he's going to do. You're going to see this thing go down into the 13s. You'll see. You could possibly see the 12s again. So, in other words, this thing has a downward trajectory. And you can see right there, it's been more daily sell. Let's straighten that out. And so right there, you see all the weakness. You can see all the selling that's going on the weekly basis for the last 4 weeks. And at the same time, you can see there's only been like a couple of days of buys right there, and then it rolled right back over again. Not bad. No Giannis today, huh? Giannis usually goes and looks at different stocks and so forth. So, maybe we'll just, this way he can go and look at it later on. Where are we at now? That's the end of the energy review. Anybody like to see anything? Just shout it out, and we will adjust and go to it. It could be a currency. You can look at bonds. Let's take a look at bonds. Let's see where let's look at Bitcoin. There is the Bitcoin Cash. It's fallen down from the all-time high area again, down into the 60,000. About 12% drop. Maybe that's actually a little bit more than that. Actually, it's about a 18% drop. But it's been in a weekly sell for 3 weeks, and you can see here it's been in the sell since basically this area here. And at the same time, you can see the dailies have been the same way too since the 6th. It's been in the daily sell most of the time from all the way down. So it's been very consistent. I like the way it reads the cryptos. All right. So from there, what does Giannis look at? Usually he looks at things like, let's go find some of the stocks he likes to look at. I think he watched Amazon one day, so let's throw Amazon in. Amazon. Right there. You can see this Amazon's been lifting very nicely. It's been in a buy for 3 weeks still. We can take a look at it over here where it'll show us live right now what it's doing. That's still a day behind. Let's see. Let's go right to there. It's filling it in right now. Let's switch over to that. Where's that mouse at? Right there. And there we go. Oh, and Robin, if you're watching, there's CME again. CME is trying to lift up, but that weekly sell really is intimidating from the 2015 area, and now we're trading at the 195. It's dropped over $20 in that weekly sell, Let's look at Amazon right there. Amazon's up a little bit for the day. Still, that's starting off today up, and we're a couple weeks in a buy, just like on the beta. Let's take a look at Apple Computer. I think he looks at Apple, and that's trying to climb into the buy today. That's why it's curving up like that. But we've been in a weekly buy, so you can't play the short, that's for sure. And then, what was the other ones he follows? He follows, let's close this. I know where it is. And we'll find the other stocks that he pays attention to. Right there. Here it comes. We'll take a look at that. So there's that's Carvana. The stock's trading at 133. Let's find that ARM. He watches ARM. Right there. There's ARM. Still in the weekly buy. Up today. It's 4 days. Looks like it's going to be 4 days in a buy at this point. And then what's one of the other ones he watches? Oh, NVDA, right there. Looks like it's going to, it's in a buy. We have not cleaned that up. We're going to have to clean that up because they split it 10 for 1. And when they split it 10 for 1, I did not delete the old status, so it's still bleeding into it. But we'll straighten that out. And then but it's in the daily. It went into the daily buy. I guess it was 2 days back, right there. Let's find another. Now the daily's cleaned up already, so it's in the daily buy from there. But it really hasn't. It's not exactly roaring. But hot money. Hot money is hungry to play the momentum stocks, and this is the biggest of the momentum stocks. There's no doubt about that. So that is the NVDA, and that seems to also have a lot of people looking at that and thinking will it go up another 10 or 20%, something like that. Some are saying it's going to double from here. So in other words, it's at 124. They think it's going to go to 250. Would not surprise me any because momentum. There's so much hot money out there that it's looking for momentum plays, and that's a legitimate momentum play. Really is. And so hot money runs towards those things. Now let's just show you that too. See NVDA, see right there on the beta. Let me just put the beta back up on the screen for you. And there's the beta, and you can see it's the long weekly buy, still in a weekly buy. This is adjusted, that it has no old stuff in it. And it went into that sell from there, from the split. But it went into the buy 3 days back. And let's see, are we even seeing, I think, let's see what this is. Yeah, see, we're not seeing today's trades. There's today's trades. See, this is yesterday's trade. It settled at 124.09. And when we go over to our other platform, it's trading right now at 124.76. So it's up like $0.75. About 60 cents. It's not up $1, but it's up enough, There's some buy. Let's put it this way. There is some buying at the moment, but this is the early market. The markets are still not, the U.S. markets won't open now for at least another 14 minutes. So it's moving a little slow. Let's show you what the stock market looks like. Let's put it up over here. Oop. There we go. And there, and now you'll see it. There we go. And, oops, wrong one. Let's go. Oh, we don't have it up there again. Okay, so we got to open it up. Right there. Here's the intraday U.S. market. The S&Ps have closed in a buy. You can see it here. They were really pushed up from I guess the debate last night. They got excited about it. But I would say a lot of this market already has that in it. I think they're all anticipating a Trump win one way or the other. And so that does not surprise me that we're seeing strength, and I would expect to see the strength. It makes sense to me. But again, I always said, I see the Joe of last night is the Joe I know. So unfortunately, I think a lot of people were kind of stunned from the Joe last night. It seems like it. Everybody gets on the TV who are Democrats and say things like, we're still hungover from last night, stunned. They really want them to go away. We want them to go away for like the last 45 years. So welcome to the party, everybody. Woo! That's pretty much what it comes down to, too. This is the last webinar for July. This is something. It's been a fun 12 years. We've had a great 12 years of doing the webinar. So we've really enjoyed it. It has given me a great outlet, because quantitative easing is 15 years old almost at this point. We're in 2024. And quantitative easing basically started off at the end of 2008 as Mr. Obama became elected. And so that's, 16 years? And we've been whining and complaining about quantitative easing, for years now, saying, it's, first of all, back in the early days, people didn't even believe that the Federal Reserve was in trading the market. Everybody thought, oh my goodness, what a fantasy that is. Doc is crazy. And people from all the exchange floors would be talking to me and they'd be like, what do you mean the Fed is out there trading the markets? I said, well, who else would, trade like this? I mean, nobody with nobody with money would trade like this. This is really dumb, And so, we've been doing the webinars since like 2012. So the first 3 years after quantitative easing, where it should have been over with and ended at that point. But no, we got stuck with it again. It was very disappointing. And here we are in 2024, still using quantitative easing. It's just very disappointing, enormously disappointing. So, we've been happy to do this webinar for 12 years and tell you what's going on here in America. It's kind of like the old newsletter, Letter from America by Alistair Cook. He used to do that for like 5 decades. I think, let's see, how many years was that? That's kind of neat. I always like to think of it about it that way too. Alistair Cook and Letters from America. Let's see. Alistair Cook, Letters from America. And he would tell people every week what he saw, what he thought. And, it was how many years did he do that for? I think he started doing it after World War II. And I think, let's see, Alistair, Letters from America. And so I always felt like, we went from, Gilda, and then I forget from there to Polina, and then I'm friends with the other one too. I can't think of her name at the moment. We went from a in-house webinar service to a YouTube webinar service, and so it was nice. I've always enjoyed doing Dukascopy because you allowed me to tell you the way I saw the markets, not the way the mainstream media, the propaganda spin media, telling you how they saw the markets. And so I really enjoyed. I've always enjoyed doing the markets, and talking about the markets. And so, I just feel, here we are, the last month of July, and we've been doing it over 12 years now. It's like, just thought it'd be nice to say it's been a blast, I always enjoyed doing the markets. And it's kind of funny, too, after that insane night last night where, I'm basically watching a movie and not paying attention to the debate. This morning it's like a hangover. Everybody's so frustrated with Mr. Biden, and I keep on saying, "Well, welcome to the party. We've been putting up with this clown for 45 some odd years, and he's right down the road from me, and it's been just interesting times, and just today just seems to be one of those points in history where they say that this is a historical day. It's a debate that has no debate has ever gone the way it went last night. They say, it was just a flip out when it came to just totally stunned. People get on that never talk politics, and remember, markets are governed by governments. In other words, no free market, no free people, and no free markets hinder growth. They're just artificial. And so, today it's like everybody's excited. They're all, just excited from last night in a very odd, glowy way. It's almost like, it feels like after the World Trade Center collapsed. That's how it feels. It's got that feel. Yeah. So, what else we got to talk about here? I guess we have to come up with a title today. And that is that, let's see. What can we say about the markets? Title. Let's see. Where's host? All right. So, today's title, and next week we have the 4th of July on Thursday. So the United States will be closed again. So, I'll do my webinar. I always enjoy telling you what it looks like from America, what's going on. So, I always enjoy it. So, I think I'm going to call today's webinar A Letter from America by Doc. Letter about American markets. That seems like a nice title. There we go. Da-da-da-da. All right, traders. We will catch you all on Monday. TGIM. Thank goodness it'll be Monday. So this is Doc from North America saying happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart weekend. And we'll catch you on Monday. Ta-ta for now. Hey, Robin. Day of